Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Now today guys, I'm going to bring you my favorite players of MLB The Show 18 and the guys that I've been using all year. Now if you guys don't know, I'm recording this on March 24, 2019. MLB The Show will be dropping in about 2 or 3 days time on March 26, 2019. So I cannot wait, and I am downloading the game right now, so I can't freaking wait. But anyway guys, let's hit into it. So we're going to start off with my favorite pitchers. If we take a look at, let's let's sort by ERA. Oh my, 81 ERA. Actually, no. Let me back out. Okay. So in terms of, we're going to go to starting pitchers. One of my favorite starting pitchers was Justin Verlander the whole entire year. Went 33-6 with him with a 1.8 ERA, .8 WHIP. 148 strikeouts, 22 walks. He actually started off as an 84 overall gold this year, and he got upgraded to an 87 overall diamond within the first, diamond within the first 2 months of the game. So that's pretty cool. Next guy that was used a lot was Danny Salazar. Surprisingly, he went 22-12 with a 4 ERA, 1 WHIP, 112 strikeouts. Really, we used him. The only reason why I used him was due to the fact that, we had to finish the Indians team epic to get Omar Vizquel, which will be mentioned later in this video, but that's basically why we used Danny Salazar. The next guy is James Paxton. He was another great player. 17-25, 2.7 ERA, .69 WHIP, 113 strikeouts. I used this guy a lot. I mean, he's a decent player. I really like James Paxton. I really like him. The next player was Jose Quintana. I used him a lot as well. Went 18-5 with a 3.2 ERA and a 1 WHIP and 73 strikeouts. So Jose Quintana, as you can see, just not really the best home run per 9 stats, but he was one of the guys at the beginning of the game that I did use. So that was pretty sick. Next guy is Robbie Ray. Went 17-6 with a 1.9 ERA. .74 WHIP, 83 strikeouts. Another greatly used player. This guy was pretty good. I liked him a lot. Next guy was Chris Sale, 90 overall, 16-25 with a 3.4 ERA, .89 WHIP, 154 strikeouts. He is one of the most expensive players that I've used this year. He was pretty good. I liked him this year. Chris Sale was a good player. Next guy was Felix Hernandez, went 7-42 with a 1.4 ERA, .6 WHIP, 88 strikeouts. I did really awful with him in terms of wins and losses, but this was actually one of the best pitchers in the game. Overall, he was just a great pitcher, one of the best, and yeah. And then the final guy we're going to talk about here, well, actually, we're going to talk about one more guy. We have Steven Strasburg. He went 10-9 with a 2.9 ERA, .83 WHIP, 83 strikeouts. This guy was one of the best pitchers that I've used this year in terms of the fact that his per-9s were really good velocity, great break. He had a 5-pitch mix. He had a really good, he was just good, man. I really liked Steven Strasburg. And then finally, we have Patrick Corbin. He went 15-2 with a 2.1 ERA, .76 WHIP, 46 strikeouts. This is the Player of the Month, 86 overall. This was a good card as well. I really like this card. 5-pitch mix, good per 9s. Basically the same as Steven Strasburg. He was pretty good. Moving on now to relievers, we have Pat Neshek, one of my most used players. 10-4 with 15 saves, a 1.7 ERA, and a .87 WHIP, 111 strikeouts. Did really nice. This card is one of my favorite cards this year to use. Just overall a great player. He was really nice. Next guy was Ryan Madson. He was another one of my most used pitchers. He had good per 9s. He went 8-4 with 11 saves, a 3.4 ERA, .82 WHIP, 104 strikeouts. Was really good. Finally, the guy we're going to go over here, the last guy, is going to be we're going to go over him and also Mike Morin. Darren O'Day, though, 6-9, 9 saves, 4.02 ERA. He had 1.09 WHIP and 81 strikeouts. This guy was pretty good as well. I really like Darren O'Day. I mean, he didn't really have the best walk and home run per 9s, but he still is a really nice player, and he does have a 3-pitch mix, so he's still really nice. Then the final guy we have here is going to be Mike Morin, one of my most used pitchers in terms of the fact that he was a part, I think, of the Seattle Mariners team epic, so that's why we used him. 8-2 with 2 saves, 1.5 ERA, .6 WHIP, and 63 strikeouts. Pretty solid. Then finally, the closing pitcher spot. I used a lot of guys. Edwin Diaz was my most used pitcher this year. 6-3 with 39 saves. He had a 2.05 ERA, .67 WHIP, 158 strikeouts. Became a diamond at the end of the year. He was really nice. He was really good. Next player was Jason Mott. I went 4-7, 29 saves, 2.04 ERA, .83 whip, 89 strikeouts. Once again, he was another cheap player. I mean, didn't have the best home run per nine, but, you know, great per nines other than that. Great velocity, great break, 4-pitch mix, you know, just a good all-around player. Then we also had Cody Allen. The major reason why I have 34 saves with him was because of the Seattle Mariners team epic. Not really the best home run per nine, but he was still a pretty good player. Like, you know, he's still pretty good. Then finally, we have Roberto Osuna. He went 6-1 with 24 saves, a 1.4 ERA, .5 whip, and 100 strikeouts. This guy was really, really nice. 82 hit per nine, 78 K per nine, like just really good per nines. This guy definitely is going to be one of the most sought after players in MLB The Show 19 because of the slurve and the cutter. So he was really nice. Then at catcher, my most used catcher, we're only going to go over 2 here because really, well, actually, we're going to go over 4 catchers. First guy was Jorge Posada. He was I believe he was the Yankees completion award, but he did really good. He had a 287 batting average, 3 home runs, 6 RBIs. Did really, I mean, he didn't really do that good in terms of home runs and RBIs, but he could produce. He had an OPS of 778, so he was pretty good. Next guy was Gary Sanchez, batted .309 with a 965 OPS. He had 24 home runs, 50 RBIs. One of the best players going to MLB The Show 19. He was really nice, so yeah. Next guy was Buster Posey, 5 home runs, 32 RBIs, only 6 strikeouts. He had a 333 batting average, and he also had an 803 OPS. Really nice. Final guy we have here, well, actually, we got to go over one more guy. It's going to be Wilson Contreras. I've added 221 with him with a 571 OPS. He did have 3 home runs, 9 RBIs. He was actually one of the top catchers in the beginning of the game, so he was nice. And yeah. Then finally, we have Wellington Castillo. He had a 458 batting average, 487 on base percentage, a 1200 OPS is insane. He had 5 home runs, 12 RBIs, just a really nice player. And yeah, he was just really, really good. And yeah, so he was nice. Next guy we have here is going to be first baseman. Willie McCovey was one of my most used guys. He had, let's see his stats, 27 home runs, 58 RBIs, 346 batting average. He had an OPS of 1100. Just a really nice player. Next guy was Justin Smoke. He was another one of my most used players. 313 batting average, a 1000 OPS, and he had 4 home runs, 14 RBIs. Then the final guy we're going to go over here is going to be Cody Bellinger. 33 home runs, 68 RBIs. He had a 310 batting average and a 1000 OPS. We're actually going to go over one more here. It's going to be Kendry Morales, 1200 OPS. This was his 87 overall card. Just a great player overall, man. Not the best fielding, but still his hitting was insane. Plus, he's a switch hitter for a first baseman. But he did have a 1200 OPS and a 373 average, and he also had 15 home runs, 31 RBIs. Next player, we're moving on to the second baseman here. Jose Altuve was one of my most used players. He was pretty good. He had let's check what he had here, a 320 batting average with a 855 OPS. He had 9 home runs, 28 RBIs, 12 triples, just an insane player. Really loved using him. Then the final player we're going to go over, it's going to be Brian Dozier, 21 home runs, 47 RBIs. He had a 272 average and a 805 OPS. And then at third baseman, my boy Harmon Killebrew, man. This guy was an absolute, oh man, could he hit home runs. I mean, this guy was just absolutely insane. 34 home runs, 94 RBIs, and he did have himself a 376 average and a 1100 on base plus slugging. Moving on now, we had Eddie Matthews. Then we're going to go over Anthony Rendon. Then we're going to move on to shortstop. But Eddie Matthews had 39 home runs, 84 RBIs, with a 355 batting average and a 1200 OPS. This guy was absolutely insane. Stats are just great. I mean, this guy was really good. One of my best players for a while, and he was really good. Then the final player we're going to be going over at third base, it's going to be Anthony Rendon. Finished off the year at a diamond player. He was one of the early predictors predicted him to go diamond very early in the game, but he did not until late. But he had 20 home runs, 38 RBIs. He had a 362 batting average and a 1000 OPS. And then at shortstop, we do have the boy Omar Vizquel, just a great overall player. Doesn't have a lot of power, but I mean his contact speed and all that, really good. He had 4 home runs, 32 RBIs, 31 stolen bases, 339 average, and a 772 OPS. Next, we have Trevor Story. He had an 1100 OPS, 333 batting average. He had 4 RBIs, 10 home runs. Just a really nice player. One of the most well-rounded players I've seen. Definitely he's going to be good, man. He's going to be a great player in the show 19. Then the last player we're going to go over here is going to be Trey Turner. I didn't really do too bad with him. 289 batting average. Also, I did pretty good with Gleyber Torres as well, who was a diamond. But I did have a 1,000 OPS with Gleyber and a 684 with Trey Turner. And Gleyber had 9 home runs. Same thing with Trey Turner. Well, actually, no. They both had 9 RBIs, but Trey Turner had 18 stolen bases, only 1 home run compared to Gleyber Torres' 3 home runs. Then at left field, we have Lou Brock, the man, the myth, the legend. The guy was just absolutely insane. Played really well for me, surprisingly, man. Lou Brock played so well for me. 7 home runs, 28 RBIs, 22 stolen bases, 338 average. He had a 346 on base percentage, and he also had himself a 809 OPS. Next was Michael Brantley, one of my most used players again. 307 batting average. He had a 822 OPS, and he had 4 home runs, 13 RBIs. And then we're going to go over, let's see, that's the same player. JD Martinez. JD Martinez was really good for me this year. 8 home runs, 24 RBIs. He had a 280 batting average and an 823 on-base plus slugging. Then at center field, there's a lot of guys to go over here. We're only going to go over 4, though. First guy is Richie Ashburn. 158 at-bats with him. He had 0 home runs, 10 RBIs, and he had a 297 batting average and a 659 on-base plus slugging. Then we have Michael Conforto, 1,100 on-base plus slugging, 358 batting average, 2 walks, 66 RBIs, 23 home runs, just insane player. Then we had Dale Murphy, one of the best fielders in the game. This guy was just insane. He was the whole package. But he had 14 home runs, 30 RBIs. He had 339 batting average and a 1,000 OPS. Then we had Chuck Nasty, Charlie Blackmon. He had a 924 OPS, 335 batting average, and 37 home runs and 37 RBIs and 8 home runs. Then finally, we're gonna go over 2 center fielders, right fielders here. Both Mariners. It's gonna be Nelson Cruz and Jay Buhner. So Nelson Cruz did have 19 home runs, 36 RBIs. He did bat 407 for me and a 1,300 on-base plus slugging. Just absolutely insane, man. The guy was really nice for me. Played a lot of games with him. He was one of the best hitters in the game. Could not field for anything, but he was still really nice. Then we had Jay Buhner as well. Buhner was another one of those very well-rounded guys. He had an 802 OPS, 269 batting average, and he mashed 20 home runs and 46 RBIs. But guys, that's going to be it for my favorite players in MLB The Show 19. I hope you guys have enjoyed, or my most used players, I should say. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, smash a like. Let's try to smash 5 likes. Thank you guys so much for watching. And the next time I see you guys, it will be MLB The Show 19 time, boys.